Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, today I'm going to talk about Intellia Therapeutics. And before we get started into the video, let me just set the background the way I think of it in my mind. When I compare Intellia Therapeutics, my base is CRISPR Therapeutics, which was founded in around 2013. I think Intellia was founded around 2014, if I'm not mistaken. So they almost have a similar kind of start date. But I think Intellia has gone much slower as compared to CRISPR Therapeutics, because CRISPR already has got its Casgevy in the market in collaboration with Vertex. It has got two of its own cancer or oncology targets in advanced stages of clinical trials. And it has got diabetes therapy also in advanced stages of clinical trials up here in Canada. So I think CRISPR Therapeutics has done pretty good, and it has got a lot of cash in its balance sheet, and it has proven a lot of collaborative efforts. I think that makes CRISPR Therapeutics as a formidable base to which other therapy companies can be compared. And when we do that kind of a comparison, Intellia seems to be very slow in getting monetization happening, and we had to keep that at the back of our mind. We had to do a little bit of detachment from CRISPR Therapeutics, because I think it is an outlier. It has done extremely well as compared to any other gene therapy companies. So if we keep that in mind and then look at Intellia Therapeutics, Intellia seems to be doing pretty well. And that's the context in which I have made this video for today. So let's get started. Welcome back, friends. Intellia Therapeutics has reported on their second quarter 2024 performance, with progress across all of its clinical programs. And I would say that they have a decent financial position with almost $1 billion or slightly less than that in their balance sheet. Their anti-LA2002, which targets hereditary angioedema or HAE, continues to show promising results. And the phase 2 trial met both its primary efficacy and all secondary endpoints, demonstrating reduction in HAE attacks with a single dose of 25 mg or 50 mg. However, the 50 mg dose showed a higher number of patients with complete elimination of HAE and a greater reduction of kallikrein protein levels. So based on these results, I think Intellia is preparing to move forward with a pivotal phase 3 trial aiming to start by the end of 2024. Typically, pivotal trials end up with BLA or approval. So I'm looking at this as a very positive omen for Intellia. But unfortunately, all this thing is going to start at the end of 2024. And once it starts, then we'll get an idea of how long it's going to be. And then we can visualize BLA or light at the end of the tunnel towards monetization. The goal is to establish NTLA-2002 as a potential functional cure for HAE. And in addition to HAE, the pivotal phase 3 magnitude trial targeting ATTR amyloidosis with cardiomyopathy or ATTR-CM is enrolling, with approvals now in place across multiple European countries. And the company is also preparing to launch another phase 3 trial for hereditary ATTR amyloidosis with polyneuropathy. And I think they're going to do that by the end of 2024, end of this year, with plans to present updated phase 1 data in the second half of 2024. So we are already in the second half of 2024. So anytime now, we should have that information. We got another 4 months to go in this year. So anytime now, we should have that. So those are all potential catalysts that can spike the share price for Intellia. And Intellia's NTLA-3001 program is positioned as a first-in-class CRISPR-mediated therapy for alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency or ATTD associated with lung disease. And the company received approval from UK's Medicines and Health Care Products Regulatory Agency to begin a first-in-human study expected to start in the second half of 2024. As I said, we are already in the second half of 2024. We have been through July and we have been through August, and now we are halfway into August. So anytime now we should hear from the company that they are starting the trial. And the program this particular program represents Intellia's first foray into gene insertion therapies with the potential to restore normal levels of fully functional AAT protein after just one dose. Intellia also highlighted its expanding the in vivo platform, which now includes innovative strategies like redosing, and new data from a redosing study showed a 95% median reduction in serum TTR protein, suggesting potential for future therapies where an additive effect is desired. This advancement could open new avenues for CRISPR-based treatments across multiple diseases beyond the liver, including those affecting the bone marrow, brain, muscle, lung, and eye. So that kind of rounds up the therapy side of the quarterly reports. And I think that overall it sounds encouraging. And also the redosing initiative shows that there is potential for clearing FDA hurdles and going ahead with monetization with superior results thanks to redosing. Now we look at the financial results, where Intellia maintains good financial position with around 939.9 million in cash and equivalents as of June 30, 2024. And this slight decrease from 1 billion at the end of 2023 reflects operational expenses, but it is mitigated by $96.4 million in net equity proceeds, reimbursements from collaborators, and interest income. So I think the interest income component is going to be a transitory income, because as interest rates starts falling, the interest income will also start falling. The other income component is the reimbursements from collaborators. That is milestone-based payments, and that will go according to schedule. And the net equity proceed is a one-off, and we should not expect more of net equity proceeds because that leads to equity dilution. So that's not a much desired way of getting the cash balance up. But all said, almost close to $1 billion is pretty good cash reserves, and these resources are expected to fund operations into late 2026. However, the company's financials also reflect the high cost of advancing its ambitious pipeline. Net loss for the quarter reached 147 million, up from 123.7 million in the same period last year, and R&D expenses were relatively stable at 114.2 million. While general and administrative expenses increased slightly to 31.8 million, primarily due to stock-based compensation. Now, in terms of corporate governance, I think Intellia has strengthened its leadership team with the appointment of Brian Goff to its board of directors and Edward Dulac as the new chief financial officer. And these strategic hires bring decades of experience in commercialization of therapies and finance, which are crucial for guiding the company through the next phases of growth, where they are looking at a potential BLA and monetization. Now, will all of those things happen before 2026? We'll get much better idea as Intellia starts presenting more and more of its clinical trial data and updates in the coming quarters. So in conclusion, I'll say that overall Intellia Therapeutics is advancing its clinical programs at a decent pace, especially with its potential breakthrough treatments for HAE and ATTR amyloidosis. And I'm saying a decent pace because my comparison is with CRISPR Therapeutics. And if we remove the comparison of CRISPR Therapeutics, the pace looks pretty decent. But if you put CRISPR Therapeutics as a comparison, then you would not be as satisfied, because you would have expected a monetization probably by the end of this year, which is 2024, and that's not happening. So the company's good financial position and strategic leadership appointments also position it well for the future, in my opinion. And the company says that investors and stakeholders can look forward to more detailed data presentation later this year and the initiation of pivotal trials that could significantly impact the future of medicine. So when we have more data presentation, they act as catalysts, both upwards and downwards. If the data is good, we'll have an upward catalyst. If the data is not as impressive as we expect it to be, then the price will start going down. So that's how I think Intellia is looking like. And I think financially they look okay. And also therapy-wise, they are making good progress. There is no adverse reports so far. So I'm cautiously optimistic about Intellia. Am I going to invest in Intellia right now? No, I would rather keep my powder ready for a future date in which I can get into Intellia closer to an upward catalyst. But right now, my focus is more on the big tech and AI, because that's where the action is. I could make more money out there and come back here to invest the way I have done with CRISPR Therapeutics. So that's my summary, my friends, and I would like to hear from you. What do you think about Intellia? Do you have it in your portfolio? And what is your thought process? Do you think we're going to see any monetization pretty soon? So I look forward to your comments. Of course, we are a retail investor channel. I'm a retail investor like you. I don't know more or less than you. So I look forward to your informed comments. So please put them out here, and I'll catch up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.